In a violent nature review, guys. Get ready. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. aka Ryan680.
I'm Angela, that Kelly.
You know what to do, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe to us on our Alamo City Movie Talk page, and let us know your comments down below of what you guys think of our movie reviews. And just in general, we love talking movies with every single one of you guys. So thank you so much for making us a part of your day. And let's get right to it. What are we talking about today, Angela?
So this one took me by surprise. I know you had said like we're gonna see a movie, and that was the context that all that I had. So I didn't.
Yeah.
We went blind in this one. So today we are reviewing In a Violent Nature.
In a Violent Nature stars when a locket is removed from a collapsed fire tower in the woods, and the entombs the rotting corpse of Johnny, a vengeful spirit, by a horrific 60-year-old crime that occurred in a small town. His body is resurrected and becomes hellbent on retrieving it, on retrieving the locket. This is actually directed and written by Chris Nash. So one of the things that that I kind of want to always ask you, Angela, because you kind of, I know this isn't like your style of filming in a way. I mean, I think I'm leaning on you more on the horror side now. I think at the time when we first started watching a lot of horror movies, you kind of were like, yeah, I don't like this. But then I sense a grasp that you're coming to the dark side.
I've always been fascinated by horror movies. I just never really cared for slasher movies.
Yeah.
Like the Scream's okay. Like okay. I know you love that.
I love Scream, but then again, you're terrified of Ghostface, though. You got to admit that.
I am terrified of Ghostface. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, brother. So I will say I really enjoy like psychological horrors and stuff. Yeah. So I had no idea what to expect of this one, right? I didn't see the poster, I didn't see the trailer. And so I was caught off guard by the story. I will say, though, it's really interesting story. I will say it's so simple. Like that's all you really need in like when you're telling this slasher tale.
Yes,
is you just need a simple plot, a simple story. And I think the director, I think he did such a great job in like bringing this project to life. Like you don't need all backstory and
or just crazy amount of CGI.
Yeah, or like overdone music and kills, and you don't need all the theatrics to make a really good horror film. And I think this film proves it. It by any means it didn't seem like it was a huge overblown production. Like it just needed what it needed, and I think he did such a really good job in just bringing this character, this villain, if you want to say, to life. I mean, it was pretty cool. I will commend a lot of the scenes, the gore scenes, the slasher scenes. They were done very well. Again, it's all like practical effects, makeup. That was done beautifully. So I will say it was pretty cool. I didn't know what to expect, but I didn't expect that.
Yeah, movies like this are just really a hidden gem. I didn't watch a trailer for this. I just saw the poster, and this movie, A Violent Nature, it's a film to where like it really relies on the cinematography of it, the nature shots, and we get that a lot. We get the beautiful nature shots. 1, 2, we also get the aerial views, which I freaking love. They did that a lot of the last Conjuring movie, and it's really great. I don't know why I love with them. I don't know why. I just love aerial shots. When it's from the top bottom. But it's definitely a different kind of filmmaking, which I feel like that kind of tricks us in a way to where like it gets us even more intrigued, especially when there's a violent scene, or especially when there's like an edge of your seat moment. And I gotta say though, I've been watching I rewatched The Offer, and it's by Paramount Plus, about The Godfather, which is one of the best movies in my whole, like my top 5 movies of all time. It's always goes back to 1, 2. It fluctuates throughout the mood I'm feeling, and so there's this one moment in the movie that I could relate, because it really talks about in the Paramount Plus series. It talks about we're not here just to make a quick buck. We're here to have a cinematic experience. We're here to have a movie experience. You got to experience the audience here. And you have to have that experience moment to where, like, maybe you didn't feel a certain way in the beginning of this movie, but then the movie makes you feel another way that you never thought you could feel, or just be scared, or just be mesmerized in a way, or just be really surprised at the ending, and surprised at these shocking, violent moments that you've never seen in your entire life. Hopefully not. And so I feel like with this movie, A Violent Nature, this movie really capitalizes on those edge of your seat moments. They really capitalizes on those experience moments. And that's the thing too. I know we talked about it a lot. Like, hey, this movie, I'm glad that I saw this in a movie theater, you know, I really am. And it's come shocking to me because I didn't really have any expectations going into this movie. More so, the most relatable one I could think of that's a horror movie, of course, was The Strangers Chapter 1.
You were so excited.
I was so excited for that movie, and it was a huge letdown. Done by a major studio, Lionsgate. And this was also done by IFC, which is bought by Shudder. So Shudder. This will be on Shudder. And I gotta say though, one of the things I gotta admit is that the gore scenes are just spontaneous, and they are revealing. They're gritty, and they're just so violent in a way to where, like, oh my god, like I've never seen some of these things. Yes. And the second thing I guess I'm going on and on a tangent, but one of the other things I did want to mention as well was that, you know, whoever did the makeup here, kudos to you, man. Whoever did the makeup, man or woman, you guys did a fantastic, enormous amount of job here, and I appreciate every moment on camera where we saw a lot of because it relied on it. It really did. Yeah. I mean, cause that's the point of this movie, is that it's violence practical. By nature.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I loved the cinematography, and it was so striking because a lot of the shots are done in nature, where it's beautiful and still and peaceful and calming, and then you just have a serial killer on the loose, right? Like it's such a contrast. It's so strange, but it works, right? Like it works.
It does.
And I agree. What I personally liked was a lot of the scenes that were the violent scenes. I liked how it wasn't all the same straight, like he used just this weapon, and he used, like, let's say an axe. He used an axe and he killed all these people with the same axe, same gore moments. No, it was a different kind of kill in a way.
Inventive.
It was inventive. It was creative. We didn't even actually see some of the kills. It was like alluding to it, which I really enjoyed. Like, it was really, like you say, it keeps you on your edge of your seat. Like, what's really happening? I really liked a lot of the shots where it's just super quiet. You just hear him walking through the forest, or you see him lurking in the background.
And that's the thing,
an added element of, like, creepy. Like,
it's really
cool.
It's because, you know, you got to think twice before going to woods. You got to think twice before camping, and it really does. It really has that at the back of your mind because, again, it goes to where those nature shots, those nature moments, and you just hear him walking through the forest, and it's so quiet. I mean, it's so quiet. You just hear birds here and there, animals here and there, but
nature.
Yeah, but was this a film we deserve? Say hell yes, it was. What do you give this rating, Angela? Rating 1 out of 10, 10 being the highest.
Like I said, for slasher film, it was done pretty well. The gore bits were good. I agree. The makeup phenomenal. The effects and everything, that was great. Some of the best I've seen in a while. Again, I'm personally don't like slashers. I'm sorry.
I know.
But again, it was really cool to see. I could see where it might not be everybody's cup of tea because it doesn't have those exciting moments with the dramatic music and like the suspenseful. Like it's totally different tone. But I feel like this works for this film. May not be for everyone, but I personally enjoyed it. I would give it a solid 7 because I think the way the story, it's such a simple story. It doesn't give too much like effort and thought to it. It's just a revengeful story. And, you know, it's gross and it's fun. And, you know, I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it.
You know, I'm reading a few of the comments here, and it just, it's definitely not everyone's style of filmmaking. And that's the thing too, is that some people want story. And some people want this backstory. And I love how we didn't really get, I mean, we kind of did. It was like literally like a less than 5 minute like backstory. And that's all we need, guys. We don't need this big old long backstory. If you're trying to you're trying to focus more on because it's a horror movie, you got to focus more on the violent scenes. And even more so, like even with films like Freddy Krueger, like they didn't really focus too much on story until later into the mid part of the film. It was in the first Act 1, it's literally violence. And Freddy Krueger is one of the ones that I could, because that's one of my favorite horror movies. And so it really focuses on just killing kids and everything, killing teenagers, and it just until the second act, that's when they start focusing on story. So it's again, it's very different filmmaking because everyone expects the story to be in the beginning of the movie. This one, it really was very short and simple, and I love that. That's the whole point of this, and it's
short,
just
sweet, to the point.
And this is one of his first big movie projects. And so I got to give him benefit of the doubt. Yeah, I mean, come on. If it's your first movie, your first job, you're not going to always be that great at it. But I got to admit, though, if this is a stepping point into the horror genre or a stepping point into movies like this, I'm on board for it. I can't wait to see what Chris Nash does next, because that's the thing, too. You always learn from different stuff, from different sets, from different movie making. You learn, and you grow with that. And one of the things I did love about this was the slashing point, was the points that they went they didn't have it like in a bottle. They didn't have like these ideas. It was just very surprising and very I didn't expect that. I really didn't.
Well, I think the downfall with a lot of horror movies now is like it's very predictable.
Yes.
And obviously this is a sense like he's coming after these kids, he's gonna get them eventually. But it's very creative. It's very refreshing.
But again, though, it kind of like, I don't know, people are going to really enjoy those because there's a lot of those nature shots where it's just him walking and it's quiet. I don't know if everyone's going to like that. That's the thing too. So we'll leave it at that, guys. But I did too. I'm going to give it a solid 8 just because of the gore shots, the simple story. They didn't really go on it. This movie runtime is perfect. It's an hour and 34 minutes. That's great. That's a great runtime. If this movie would have been 2 hours, it would have been a completely different rating, completely different movie. But an hour and 34. That was great. That was a great runtime.
And I think, like I said, it boils down to like, did this keep us entertained?
Yes, it did.
Yes, it did. Yep. And that's all you really need. You just need a good story, good, fun gore. When it comes to slasher films. So I really appreciate the work that went into here. It just proves that you don't need this overblown budget to make something. Take case in point, The Strangers Chapter 1 that we just saw. God. I know. I know. Very big disappointment. But again, I really enjoyed it. I think a lot of people are going to. We would encourage people to check it out. Even if you're on the fence, definitely go see it. I think you're going to be surprised.
Just be fairly warned, there is a lot of quiet moments. It's not like A Quiet Place, like the John Krasinski movie, but there is a lot of quiet moments in here. I'll leave it at that, guys. But yeah, we do recommend this movie. Since we are above average rating, we do recommend this film, guys. So Alamo Drafthouse. This is Alamo Drafthouse recommends as well. So this is Alamo City Movie Talk and Alamo Drafthouse recommends. So be sure to check it out, guys. And let us know in the comments down below. What do y'all think? Question is for you guys. What do you think of this movie? Are you excited for this? Are you kind of like, Are you kind of like, All I'm saying is that if you have the movie pass, go use it for this movie, guys. If you have the Alamo Drafthouse pass, if you have the Regal pass, if you have the AMC pass, go check out this movie because this needs to be seen in a movie theater. And I feel like that. I love how when streaming movies that are like made by a streaming company like go in theater first and then they go to streaming because it really does get people excited. It really does. And I feel like that the word of mouth and everything. So I do recommend this movie, needless to say. But yeah, as always, I'm your host Ryan D, aka Ryan 680.
I'm Angela Dakarian.
This is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Thank you so much for being a part of your day. You know what to do, guys, and see you at the movies. Latest.